esteemed viewers, good morning to you, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching us from. This is Daily Digest on esteemed Radio Vision. We are located at Obukana Avenue in Elisha, Ocean State, Nigeria. On Daily Digest this morning, I am Chidima Abel, and I have with me
Oluwatoyosi Solanke.
All right, we'll be starting with a Punch news headline this morning. Starting with a Punch, military investigation ends. DHQ moves to arraign alleged coup plotters. Military investigation ends. DHQ moves to arraign alleged coup plotters. From the Punch, the defense headquarters on Monday said personnel indicted after investigations into alleged misconduct by some military officers, which uncovered claims of a plot to overthrow the government, will be arraigned before an appropriate military judicial panel. Security and military sources familiar with the matter said President Bola Tinubu had expressed confidence in the military to try the indicted officers. This comes amid appeals by a pro-democracy group urging the federal government to consider the health and welfare of officers detained in connection with the matter. In October 2025, the DHQ announced the arrest of 16 officers over acts of indiscipline and breaches of service regulations. Shortly after, Sahara reporters alleged that the officers ranging from the rank of captain to brigadier general were arrested by the Defense Intelligence Agency for holding secret meetings to topple the government and link their alleged plots to the cancellation of the October 1 Independence Day parade. From the Punch, you will get a full story.
Still on Punch. Strike. Court decides today as FCT workers demand Wike's removal. The National Industrial Court of Nigeria, Abuja, has fixed today, Tuesday, for ruling on a suit filed by the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and the FCT administration against leaders of the Joint Union Action Committee. Justice E.D. Sublime adjourned the matter after hearing arguments from counsel for the parties. The claimants had dragged the JUAIG chairman, Rufkatu Loster, and the secretary, Abdullahi Umar Saleh, before the court in suit number NICN Abuja 17-2026, seeking an interlocutory injunction restraining the defendant and their agents from embarking on any industrial action, picketing or lockout. The ongoing strike, which began last Monday after the expiration of a 7-day ultimatum, has paralyzed activities across major FCTA offices in Abuja, including the FCTA Secretariat, where security operatives were deployed to restrict access. Despite claims by the FCTA management that most of the workers' demands has been met, the JUAC dismissed the assertions, insisting that core issues remained unresolved. On the Punch this morning, you get the full details.
All right, still on the Punch this morning, Alaafin absent as Makinde kicks off Oyo 50th anniversary. Two prominent traditional rulers in Oyo State, the Shoun of Ogbomosho, Oba Olaoye Gbandi, and the Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Akim Owade, were conspicuously absent as Governor Seyi Makinde inaugurated the 50th anniversary of the state on Monday. Family members of former governors, traditional and religious leaders, top government functionaries, and political stakeholders gathered at the International Conference Center, Ibadan, to celebrate the state, which was created on February 3, 1976, from the former western region of Nigeria, with Ibadan as its administrative capital. The state government had unveiled a week-long program for the anniversary on January 21, 2026. The event include religious services, cultural exhibitions, and awards and dinner night, and a public lecture titled Consolidating the Legacy, Navigating the Present, and Reimagining the Future. Governor Makinde had appointed Sahid Fijabi, a former member of the House of Representatives, as chairman of the 11-member planning committee for the anniversary. You will get a full story from the Punch.
The next headline is taken from Vanguard. Dangote Refinery reaffirms market stability, assures nationwide PMS supply. Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals reaffirms its commitment to market stability and uninterrupted nationwide supply of premium motor spirits (PMS). During the recent festive period, the refinery implemented a deliberate temporary price support intervention to caution Nigerians amid heightened household spending. This marked the second consecutive festive season in which the refinery absorbed high costs in the national interest, including logistics support in 2024 and the price reduction in 2025 to promote affordability and market calm. Despite the price reduction, many filling stations failed to reflect the new price at the pump, thereby denying Nigerians the benefits of the reduction. With the festive period concluded, prices have been modestly realigned to sustainable levels to support long-term market stability and affordability. On Vanguard, you get the full details.
Alright, still on Vanguard, APC debunks fake membership card featuring bandits Kingpin Bello Toje in Zamfara. The Zamfara chapter of the All Progressives Congress APC says it has discovered a fake party membership card in circulation, describing the action as a mischievous attempt to spoil the party's name. The state APC publicity secretary, Malam Yusuf Idris, stated this in a statement issued in Gusau on Monday. Idris stated that the party has come across a forged APC membership card doctored to contain an edited picture of the notorious bandits Kingpin Bello Toji, making him appear to be a registered party member. Idris added no person can be duly registered without a NIN number, which Toji hasn't, and therefore making nonsense of the effort of the mischief makers for failing to realize that APC programs are mostly flawless. From the Vanguard, you will get a full story.
Still on Vanguard, gunmen abduct 26 in Zamfara communities, set shops ablaze. 156 of our members still in captive after Kaduna abducted CNS Supreme Head. Anxiety has abducted church worshippers remain in captivity. No fewer than 26 persons were weekend abducted by bandits during coordinated attacks on two communities in Talata Marafa local government area in Zamfara State. This came as the Supreme Head, Cherubim and Seraphim Unification Church of Nigeria, Prophet Emmanuel Alogbo, disclosed that 156 members of CNS were still in the den of their abductors following their abduction on January 18 at Wali in Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State. Also, anxiety continues to grip residents of Kurum Wali as the abducted worshippers are still being held captive 1 week after the incident. You get the full story on Vanguard.
Alright, I'm still on Vanguard. Police arrest man that sent bomb threat messages to Lagos schools. Police arrest man that sent bomb threat messages to Lagos schools. The Lagos State Police Command has arrested one Kosiso Chukwuem Nyeyem, alleged to have sent bomb threat messages to two schools in the Ikeja Government Reserved Area, GRA, Lagos last week. This came as the command said it dismantled a notorious one-chance syndicate operating across the state, arresting 21 suspects in various locations. It was gathered that about 4 p.m. January 2026, the Human Resources Manager and the Chief Security Officer of the affected schools, names withheld, separately reported at the Ikeja Divisional Headquarters that they had received threatening WhatsApp messages from the same unknown number, alleging that explosive devices have been planted within the school premises. Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, Mr. Moshood Jimo, who disclosed this while briefing journalists at the command headquarters in Ikeja yesterday, said operatives, including the Explosive Ordnance Disposal (EOD) unit, counter-terrorism unit, and tactical teams were immediately deployed to the schools. From the Vanguard, we get a full story.
Now we're moving away from Vanguard onto the Nation. Adeleke to Tinubu intervene in crisis. Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke yesterday begged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to intervene in the ongoing control crisis in local government councils and continued stay in office by the reinstated executives of All Progressive Congress Party (APC). The nation recalls that Osun State councils have been embroiled in crisis since February 10, 2025, after the Court of Appeal purportedly reinstated executive elected on the platform of APC in 2022, who were earlier sacked by Federal High Court and removed by Adeleke's executive order. Another council executives were re-elected in February 2025 on the platform of People's Democratic Party (PDP). Despite that, the APC executive have been in charge of the administration of the councils. Governor Adeleke, in a statewide broadcast yesterday, said Osun councils have been under illegal occupation by APC chairmen and councillors, whose election was nullified by the Federal High Court, Osogbo, in November 2022 and affirmed by the Court of Appeal on February 10, 2025 and again on June 13, 2025. You get the full details on the nation.
All right, still on the nation. No plan to replace Shetima as Tinubu's running mate in 2027. This is coming from APC. The ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, has said there is no truth in the rumor. There is no truth is the rumor about the possibility of replacing Vice President Kashim Shettima as the running mate to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027 general election. The party's National Publicity Secretary, Felix Moka, debunked the rumor in a statement yesterday in Abuja. Maka said the rumors and name speculations were purely speculative, untrue, and utterly baseless. The statement reads, Alright, the APC also urged media organizations to refrain from lending their platforms to rumor peddlers and mischievous news sources of questionable prudence, whose only intention is to promote discord and confusion in the polity, reiterating that the laws and electoral regulations banning political activities remain in force. The party maintained that at this time, their party remains focused on supporting President Tinubu and Vice President Shettima in delivering administration's renewed hope agenda and entrenching its bold reforms that are now steadily transforming the economy, building prosperity, and uplifting the living conditions of the people. From the nation.
Still on the nation, Igbo. My name has been removed from unwanted persons list. My name has been removed from unwanted persons list, said Igboho. Chief Sunday Adeyemo, popularly called Sunday Igboho, yesterday arrived in Nigeria after his name was removed from the list of unwanted persons. He returned home from self-exile in neighboring Cotonou, Benin Republic. Upon arrival, Igboho was welcomed by supporters, Muslim clerics and others at his Soka, Ibadan, Oyo State home. They offered prayers over Igboho's smooth return and also prayed for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and traditional rulers who intervened in his case. Recounting his ordeal, Igboho, who shed tears, lamented that under the previous administration of the late President Muhammadu Buhari, he was declared wanted, denied a Nigerian passport, and had his bank account frozen despite favorable court rulings. His return could be termed as another homecoming after he fled Nigeria on July 1st, 2021, following a raid on his Ibadan residence by a combined team of Department of State Services and Nigerian Army over allegations of stockpiling arms and ammunition. In 2024, Igboho was in the country briefly after his late mother's burial. You get the full details on the nation.
All right, still on the nation this morning. I work hard because my husband is diligent. I work hard because my husband is diligent, says First Lady. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has said her work ethic is inspired by the example of her husband, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. She described the president as a hard-working leader whose commitment to duty pushes her to do more. Mrs. Tinubu spoke yesterday in Abuja while formally receiving the notification of her selection as Person of the Year by leadership newspapers during a visit by the organization's management. She said the recognition had further motivated her to deepen her service to Nigerians. In a statement by her Senior Special Assistant on Media, Busola Kukoyi, Mrs. Tinubu said with this, she was fired up for the year and that she was guided by the scripture which says, I can do all things. There is still more for me to do. What am I doing for the common man? She says. From The Nation, you will get the first story.
On this day, APC to Musawa orders. Avoid stalking needless speculations. Focus on your duty. All Progressive Congress APC yesterday warned Minister of Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy, Anatu Musawa, other senior government and party officials to stop fueling needless speculations, but focus on their primary duty of diligent service to the government and the party. APC also dismissed growing media reports about possible replacement of Vice President Kashim Shettima as running mate to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ahead of the 2027 general election. Musawa had warned that APC could drastically weaken its chances in the 2027 presidential election if it dropped Shettima or did not pick a northern Muslim to run with Tinubu in his re-election bid. She gave the warning during a recent episode of Mike On Show with popular journalist Sheun Okinbaloye. Musawa's comment came amid rising speculations that the ruling party might consider altering the Muslim presidential ticket that powered APC to victory in 2023 elections. The minister cautioned that replacing Shettima or removing a northern Muslim from the ticket could pose serious political risks, particularly in the core northern states, where voting patterns were deeply influenced by the regional and religious considerations. On this day, you get the full details.
All right, moving ahead with this day, Shettima to launch Fresh Women, Youth, Children Learning Empowerment Fund tomorrow. Vice President Kashim Shettima is to launch a fresh learning fund and empowerment platform targeted at unlocking the potential of Nigerian children, women and youth. The event, according to a release issued on Monday by media assistant to the Vice President, Stanley Mokocha, we hold on Wednesday, January 28, 2026 at the State Arts Conference Center, Abuja. This initiative, convened by the Office of the Vice President in collaboration with Sterling One Foundation, the United Nations System, and other assist partners, will form part of the outcomes of the Africa Social Impact Summit 2026 high-level policy engagement. ASSIST is a premier platform for accelerating progress on the sustainable development goals through innovation, financing, and partnerships. The high-level engagement with the theme, Scaling Action, Driving Inclusive Growth through Policy and Innovation, will bring together over 200 senior leaders from government, private enterprise, and development institutions, civil society, and the diplomatic community. Get a full story from this day.
Okay, moving away from this day, the next headline is taken from Daily Trust. Man burned to death in Kwara. Man burned to death in Kwara State. A bushfire on the private property in Irewolede, Ilorin, claimed the life of a 73-year-old pastor, Samson Awolola, on Monday morning. The fire reportedly started when Pastor Awolola set bushes and grasses ablaze on his land, which features an incomplete building, a perimeter fence, and a gated entrance. It was gathered that the flames from his action spread rapidly, blocking the property's only exit. A laborer he had brought to assist managed to escape by scaling over the fence. Residents said in a desperate attempt to escape, Pastor Awolola tried to leave through the fence, but was trapped by the advancing fire. Firefighters extinguished the blaze before it could spread to neighboring properties, but the victim could not be saved. The Kwara State Fire Service confirmed the development in the statement on Monday evening. You get the full details on Daily Trust.
All right, still on Daily Trust, the headline to wrap up the show this morning. Federal government moves to pay officers disengaged in 2007. The federal government has commenced a verification exercise in Gombe State for public servant disengaged during the 2007 public service reforms to pay their long overdue entitlement. The Director General of the Bureau of Public Service Reforms, BPSR, Mr. Dasuki Ibrahim Arabi, discloses while leading a federal government team to Gombe for the exercise. Arabi said the team comprises officials from the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the Related Offences Commission, and other government agencies. According to him, the visit was to ascertain and verify officers who were right sides during the reforms but were never fully settled. Get a full story from Daily Trust. This is where we'll be wrapping up the show this morning. But don't forget to like, leave a comment for us in the comment section, and do well to share. Follow us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook at Esteem Radio Vision, on YouTube at Esteem Studio. Till we come your way again, I still remain Chidima Abel and
Oluwatoyosi Solanke.
And don't forget, for sponsorship and advert placement, you can always contact us on 0916-634-9956. Thank you so much for choosing Esteem Radio Vision.